Jason. Kings break, 4-on-3. Jason with a hesitation drive. No look pass. Weber, power.
The back. Get up and throw down, Mitchell.
5.5 minutes. Christie. Jump hook.
He's had 5 in one game.
Look out. Pass it to himself.
Off the showtime pass by Jason Williams.
And missed by Abdul-Wahid. Well, he's become a cult hero. They say already in New York that his jersey outsells anyone in the country.
Behind the back, the wraparound from Jason Williams.
That's what to rise out of the crowd.
What if I told you there was an NBA player who physically couldn't seem to throw a normal pass? Behind the back bullets, no look, dimes through triple coverage, and a pass so impossible that nearly 3 decades later, nobody, not even the greatest point guards alive, has been able to replicate it. Everyone knows the highlights, the elbow pass. The And One mixtape moves in actual NBA games. But most people don't know how a kid from a trailer park in West Virginia, population barely over 1,000, developed a passing style so unique, it broke basketball's unwritten rules. This is the story of how Jason Williams turned passing into poetry, and what it cost him to finally win. But to understand how white chocolate became white chocolate, we have to go back to a high school gym in the middle of nowhere, and a running mate you definitely didn't expect. Bell, West Virginia. Population, barely over 1,000. 1 high school, 1 gym, and 1 kid with a secret advantage. Jason's father, Terry, was a state trooper who held a key to DuPont High School's gymnasium. While other kids went home after practice, Jason stayed, hour after hour. Alone on that court, he didn't just practice passing. He experimented. No coaches telling him that's not how you do it. Just pure imagination. This wasn't showing off. It was problem solving, figuring out angles nobody else thought to try. But Jason wasn't the only future legend in those hallways. His teammate, Randy Moss. Yes, that Randy Moss. On the court and the football field, they developed an almost telepathic connection. Williams threw full court passes like a quarterback, behind the back dimes that only worked because Moss knew exactly where to be. Together, they carried DuPont to the AAA state championship game. Jason dropped 17, threw passes that defied logic, but they came up short. First taste of falling, just shy of the ultimate prize. Then came college. And chaos. Jason committed to Providence, but Coach Rick Barnes bolted for Clemson. The new coach brought in another point guard. Suddenly, the kid who dominated high school was looking at a season on the bench, so he left. Fork Union Military Academy, a year of exile. But Billy Donovan believed. He saw what everyone else missed. At Marshall, he had Jason run drills with weights strapped to his wrists, building strength and precision into those wild passes. When Donovan moved to Florida, Jason followed. By junior year, 17 points, nearly 7 assists, almost 3 steals. NBA scouts were circling, then he threw it all away. 20 games in, Jason got caught with left-handed cigarettes for the 3rd time, expelled. Career over before it started, but fate intervened. Nick Anderson of the Orlando Magic had been in the stands. Stunned by what he saw, he urged his agent to sign the kid immediately. No college left, but Jason had an agent, access to NBA workouts, and one last shot. So when the 1998 draft arrived, teams knew about the talent. They also knew the red flags. Would anyone take the risk? Well, the Sacramento Kings had learned their lesson. A year earlier, they declared interest in a high school kid named Hubie Brown, only to watch the Lakers leapfrog them on draft night. They weren't making that mistake again. So when reporters asked about Jason Williams, Sacramento claimed zero interest. Complete misdirection. He was their best-kept secret. Then,
with the 7th pick in the 1998 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Jason Williams from the University of Florida.
the doubters were loud. Could a player who purposely throws crazy passes lead an NBA franchise, or was he just a sideshow? Head coach Rick Adelman had his answer. Before Jason's first game, he pulled him aside. If you throw a behind-the-back pass and it goes out of bounds, don't worry. Next time, try it with your left hand. For the first time, Jason had a coach who didn't want to fix him. He wanted to unleash him. The debut, 21 points, 3 assists, 5 steals. Sacramento had their point guard. Then came the nickname. A Kings marketing agent suggested white chocolate. Jason loved it. Every game became a mixtape. No-look passes through defenders' legs. Full court outlets that arrived before receivers expected them. Passes that looked like mistakes until they became assists. Even teammates weren't ready. Vlade Divac admitted the ball would just hit him in the head sometimes. He'd played with Magic Johnson and still wasn't prepared. But it wasn't just passing. Those hours in the DuPont gym had made Jason virtually unguardable. He crossed up Gary Payton so badly, it became instant legend. Rookie year, 12.8 points, 6 assists, 1.9 steals. Just short of Rookie of the Year, then All-Star Weekend. Craig Sager asked what fans could expect. Jason's response, keep your eyes open and don't go to the concession stand till halftime. What followed changed everything. Behind the back, off the elbow, a pass so impossible, nobody has replicated it in an NBA game since. Larry Bird called him one of the best passers he'd ever seen. Maravich comparisons started flying. But when playoffs came, reality hit. The Kings clawed back from 0-2 against the 67-win Lakers, tied it 2-2, then Shaq dropped 32 and 18. Season over, 1 win away, again. White chocolate had become a phenomenon. But there was one thing Jason Williams didn't have, a championship. And Sacramento was about to decide he wasn't the point guard who could get them there. Sacramento's front office reviewed their roster heading into 2001 to 2002. They had shooters, they had size, they had talent everywhere, except point guard. Jason Williams was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies for Mike Bibby, the number 2 pick from the same 1998 draft. Most players would be bitter. Jason wasn't. He later admitted the Kings got better when they traded him. That team had a better chance of beating the Lakers without him. And ironically, Sacramento made their legendary 2002 playoff run and still lost to LA. But Jason's journey wasn't over. It was just entering its darkest chapter. Memphis was bad. In Jason's own words, "We're the worst team in the league. I said the Hawks were worse. We're worse." He still had moments. Against Houston, he exploded for 38 points and 11 assists. Proof the talent was still elite. But individual performances meant nothing on a 23-win team. The next season started with an 8-game losing streak. Something had to change. Enter Jerry West, the legendary GM. Himself a West Virginia native, made a shocking move. He hired 69-year-old Hubie Brown, a coach who hadn't led an NBA team in 16 years. But Hubie brought something Memphis desperately needed, accountability. He screamed at players when they made mistakes, held everyone to the same standard, broke the season into 6-game chunks with specific goals, win 3, improve defense, tangible targets. He even refused to let management waste players' time with jersey signings and meet and greets. Nothing was allowed to distract from basketball. Jason loved it. For the first time, someone was treating winning as the only priority. So he transformed. He locked himself in the film room, studying every mistake from his Kings days, every turnover, every forced pass. His turnovers dropped from 3.7 per game to 2.1. Still flashy, but now smart. He learned each teammate's preferences, told Mike Miller, "If I bounce pass it, drive. If I chest pass it, shoot." Miller couldn't believe Jason could process that much while running a fast break. The result? Memphis posted their first winning record ever, 50 wins. First playoff appearance in franchise history. Hubie Brown named Coach of the Year. But the San Antonio Spurs, defending champions with Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker, swept them in 4 games. Still, Memphis wasn't devastated. They'd finally arrived. Then everything collapsed. Hubie Brown retired mid-season. At 71, his intensity was literally putting his health at risk. Mike Fratello took over, and the chemistry evaporated immediately. Jason later said Fratello couldn't control 12 grown men, called him a great middle school coach. Another playoff appearance, another sweep, this time by Phoenix. Jason knew his time in Memphis was over. He'd learned to be efficient, he'd matured, but he'd never won when it mattered most. Then his phone rang. On the other end was the most dominant force in basketball history, with an offer Jason couldn't refuse. Shaquille O'Neal, three-time champion, three-time finals, MVP, called Jason directly. Miami had Shaq. They had Dwayne Wade. What they didn't have was someone who could get them the ball effectively. Jason's response was immediate. Whatever it takes, get it done. What followed was the largest trade in NBA history at the time. 5 teams, 13 players. When the dust settled, Jason Williams and James Posey landed in Miami, but 21 games in, the Heat were failing. Too many egos. Coach Stan Van Gundy couldn't control the locker room, so Pat Riley, 4-time champion as a coach, took over mid-season. He sat Jason down and laid it out clearly. Your job is to distribute. White chocolate stays in the bag unless you're wide open on a fast break. For a player who'd built his entire identity on flash, this could have been crushing. Instead, Jason embraced it. Basketball is beautiful when it's played the right way. Make the extra pass. Use screens. It's so much easier than crossing someone up and banging through contact. He finally understood. Miami finished 52-30. Not spectacular, but enough. They survived the Bulls, survived the Nets, reached the Eastern Conference Finals against Detroit. The Heat took a 3-2 lead, but Detroit had all the momentum heading into Game 6. Steal it on the road, and Game 7 would be in their building. With the season on the line, Pat Riley needed someone to step up. Shaq was being contained. Then Jason Williams caught fire. Not with passes, with buckets, attacking the rim, mid-range pull-ups, left-hand three-pointers, 10 consecutive Heat points at the most critical moment of the series. Miami won Game 6 by 17. They were going to the finals. The flashiest passer in NBA history had delivered when it mattered most, by scoring. But the finals brought a new nightmare. Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki was unconscious. The Heat lost games 1 and 2. After Game 2, Pat Riley walked into the locker room holding a Dallas newspaper. The headline, Heat finished. He told his team to write down a date, June 20th, 2006. That's the day we win a championship. Down 0-2, nobody outside that room believed it. Game 3, Miami down 13 in the fourth quarter. During a timeout, Riley wrote on his clipboard, "This is the season." The Heat clawed back, won Game 3. Game 4, dominant 24-point victory. Series tied. Game 5, Dwayne Wade hit clutch free throws. Miami took the lead, 1 win away, but Game 6 and 7 were in Dallas. On June 20th, 2006, Jason Williams played his role perfectly. 7 assists, kept the offense flowing, and when the final whistle blew, Pat Riley's prediction was right to the day. Jason Williams, the kid from a trailer in West Virginia, the player expelled from college, the point guard Sacramento traded away, was an NBA champion. In the locker room chaos, he screamed at his teammates, "Don't doubt us." Here's the poetic irony. Jason Williams became a legend by being the flashiest passer in the basketball history. But he won a championship by learning when not to be flashy. Those behind-the-back passes, the no-looks, the elbow pass, they worked because they were often the most efficient way to deliver the ball. And when winning required simplicity, Jason gave them simplicity. But that championship night was the culmination, the validation. So, where does white chocolate really stand in history? Career averages of 10.5 points and 5.9 assists across 12 seasons. The numbers don't scream legend, but YouTube does. His highlights have been viewed hundreds of millions of times. Every flashy point guard who came after Every crossover, every no-look, every unnecessary pass owes something to Jason Williams proving it could work at the highest level. Here's the thing. It wasn't showing off. Those passes often got to teammates faster and more unexpectedly than normal passes ever could. By freezing defenders with misdirection and impossible angles, he created easier shots. That's what made it poetry. Beautiful and functional. So let me ask you, does Jason Williams deserve a spot in the top 10 point guards ever? And if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.